All right, guys, welcome back to the Independent Investor Channel. It's good to be with you guys again. This is going to be an M1 Finance portfolio review. This is part of a series that I'm going to be putting out where I review certain portfolios that I own, certain accounts that I own, and I'm going to use those opportunities to demonstrate some of the features and functionality on the platform. I know a lot of you guys out there, if you're new investors, you're looking to answer the very simple question of what account should I use. This will provide you that transparency. Within a couple minute video, you'll at least have some insight on what the internals of some of these accounts do look like. Now, M1 Finance is one of two affiliate programs that the Independent Investor Channel endorses. Please understand the affiliate links are provided in the description of this particular video. And if you do opt for their services, the Independent Investor Channel could receive a small compensation for you opting into those services. All right, so get the disclaimers out of the way. Moreover, the reason why I do this is to provide free access to the stock market. There's not a lot of understanding for new investors out there understanding that they can invest in the stock market free of charge, okay? They can invest in single stock, they can invest in ETFs, index funds, etc., and they can do so using a simple discount broker like an M1 Finance to seek out their exposure. And this can really be an eye-opener for a lot of new investors that say, man, I've only got a few dollars. I want to invest $25 a month, but $7 every single time I invest, what do I have to do? Do I have to let it build up a little bit for a while before I make that purchase? M1 Finance has simplified that process, and you can invest $5 a day if that's what you want to do. You can invest as frequently as you want to, and it's a beautiful thing for new investors that are just looking to get exposure to the market but don't want to be piecemealed away by a bunch of the fees that are charged by some of the larger advanced brokers out there. All right, these simple brokers allow that advanced entry to the stock market without paying the premium fees, guys. So with that said, I'm going to drop you into the M1 Finance account, and we're going to review my Sector Spider portfolio. Please enjoy. All right, welcome into M1 Finance here. For you guys that have never seen the inner workings of the M1 Finance platform, this is it. This is a portfolio that I've built really for educational purposes, to be honest with you. Make no mistake, the few dollars that are in this account are real dollars. This is a real account. This is a taxable brokerage account for many of you guys who are researching M1 Finance or are actively looking for a simple investing account. This is one of them, and I think the aesthetics of this platform are very clean. They're very well done. This appeals to a lot of investors that don't know a lot about investing but really enjoy this pie feature that M1 Finance is famous for, to be honest with you. And I've built this portfolio for a couple different reasons. Number one, to demonstrate the aesthetics on the platform, to keep myself in tune with the platform. I am affiliated with the platform, so the links are in the description of this video if you're interested in kicking over. I may receive a small compensation for the support of the channel if you do opt for their services, so please understand that. But moreover, I'm really more interested in providing no-cost entry to the stock market for individual investors. That is, in fact, my goal. And that is the specific reason why I endorse M1 Finance through the channel, because you can invest for free. And that is a big deal. That is really a revolutionary feature nowadays for some of the simple discount brokers that offer entry into the stock market and allow you to contribute free of charge. This account is pretty awesome. You can contribute to this account as often or as infrequently as you choose, and you can do so free of charge. Okay, now for you guys that have an imagination, you guys can determine for yourself how you want to leverage the M1 Finance opportunity. What I mean is, do you want it to be your primary account, or would you like it to be a secondary account? Could it be a secondary account that is an additional layer to your employer-sponsored retirement account, 401k, 403b, something of that nature? You could use it as a stock account. I will just say this. In my experience with M1 Finance, I think the best way to utilize M1 Finance is the way that myself and some of the other YouTubers are utilizing M1 Finance, and that is from a passive perspective. Okay? You're not going to want to be trading in and out of stock with M1 Finance. They still do their settlements once a day, I believe at 10:30 in the morning. So if you put in a buy order, it's going to sit in the queue for, quite frankly, an unacceptable amount of time. And that's really a drawback of M1 Finance, in my opinion. But for those folks that are looking to buy and hold long term, M1 Finance works perfectly fine. And again, you get the free dollar cost averaging, you get the portfolio reinvestment program, which is a little different than dividend reinvestment. Traditionally, if you held a stock in AT&T and that AT&T stock paid a dividend, it would roll back into the underlying asset. In M1 Finance, when that same dividend is paid through AT&T, it actually goes in to fund this entire portfolio, and furthermore, it will fund the lowest set of allocations. So for example, here I'm a little down in energy. This is where the contributions will go in this portfolio reinvestment program. Very unique, actually. I like it. I really do. I think it's a very unique function where you've got inflows of dollars constantly buying the underperforming assets. And I think over time that's really going to generate a lot of wealth for a lot of people out there who leverage this opportunity with M1 Finance, okay? But this is the portfolio in a nutshell. I've broken it up. The only thing custom about this is this target allocation. That's the only thing custom about it. But I could know nothing about the stock market and come on to the Independent Investor channel and say, you know what, I really enjoy the information on single stock, but I want the diversification in a fund, okay? And this is somewhat experimental for me a little bit in that I've broken this up through the sector spiders offered through Vanguard. These are the specialty ETFs, to be specific. The link to the Vanguard ETF page has been provided in the links below in this video. So if you're interested in kicking over there and checking out the 59 ETFs on the shopping mall of ETFs, I encourage you to do so. But this is really interesting. I mean, look at this, guys. If you knew nothing about investing and you plopped in here and you're investing for free and you're getting exposure to the major 11 sectors in the stock market, this is really exciting stuff. And again, this takes no education. It takes no expertise at all to look at these sectors and determine really what type of exposure you want to each respective sector. I've got technology here at the top, healthcare, financials, and down the line, and this is the exposure rate. You know, some people may want more to utilities up here on the top because they're looking for more dividend income. That's totally fine too. Or you may just want to take a more passive approach from a total market perspective and go ahead and put some of the total market ETFs into M1 Finance that you want. The freedom and flexibility is just endless. And it gives individual investors a really interesting, aesthetically pleasing platform to get direct exposure to the stock market. There is no middleman with M1 Finance, okay? And you can kind of see here how the performance is done. It made a little bit of dividend here, just a touch, less than 20 bucks, and got some capital appreciation in it, 7.5%, nothing to sneeze at. Again, you know, this is possible for folks that have very little to no knowledge of the market. If they were just willing to learn a little bit about the importance of free dollar cost averaging and free portfolio reinvestment, and the low expense that is associated with each of these particular special ETFs, or specifically the low cost and the total market ETFs that are offered by Vanguard, and plug those into M1 Finance, and boom, you're off and running, man. You're an investor, you're diversified right off the bat, you're generating some dividend income, and you're off and running. And I think a lot of people would be very motivated to say, you know what, I can do better than Ryan. And then that's awesome. I contribute $25 a month to this. This is another portfolio that we're trying to provide transparency on, marching toward our $10,000 goal. So we're 17% there, guys, right? I'm proving a point here. I am proving that the barriers to entry are not quite as large as a lot of people think that they may be, and that's what prohibits a lot of people from starting on their investment journey. Hopefully we're breaking down a ton of those barriers for you guys. So thanks for kicking into M1 with me. I'll push you back to YouTube right now. Thank you so much. Yeah, so we come back out of M1 Finance here, guys, and I really hope you enjoyed the aesthetic look of M1 Finance. It's really good. It appeals to a lot of people. It's very simple to navigate through, and I think it's really interesting. It's doing a lot of things for new investors. It's really getting them excited about investing. It's making it fun. It really is. And I think for a lot of people, I think it's just one of those things. You know, it's one of those things, and you're tired of hearing about it. So sometimes we feel pressured to invest in the market, and we really don't understand how rewarding it can be, how personally satisfying it can be to actually contribute to your own financial future and your own financial health. It's really awesome. And M1 Finance allows you to maintain very, very active monitoring through the mobile app. And it's got a really, really good desktop platform. That's what I was able to show you guys when we dropped into the platform. But I think it's opening a lot of eyes for a lot of people. I think a lot of people are now understanding that there's so many good products out there that are conducive to a passive investor. Once they go through the initial setup phase of getting the account set up and funded, that they can really put this thing on autopilot and fund it over time. And boom, you've gone from a non-investor to an investor, and you're a participant to your own financial future. And that is indeed the goal, to empower one investor at a time. Guys, if you enjoyed the content, please don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button for me. Leave your comments at the bottom if I've missed something on the M1 Finance platform. Share this message with anybody out there that you know looking to start an account or get some preliminary information on some of the resources that are available out there across the landscape, guys. Thanks again for tuning in, and good luck in your investment future.